I am befuddled by the fact that there are so many people kind of going through an awakening process right now, and they have no idea what it is or how it's, what the process is, and they think that they're going crazy, that they're seeing these synchronicities all the time, and they're getting the ringing in the ears, and and they're hearing people having the same conversations that they had with another person, and then they hear it again, you know, and that is it's befuddling to me because when I started going through my experience, because there's not just the one awakening, and there's no such thing as full enlightenment. Um, my belief on that is, and it is a belief, by the way. It's not a knowing. My belief is that at the moment of absolute God consciousness, we return to God consciousness. There's a lot of yogis, man, that go into samadhi and don't come out, and then they just blame it on an aneurysm. You know, um, the body stops when the body stops. It's a machine. It's not. It's the pain body. It's not the end all. You know, I'm sure you've heard the statement of we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and that's true. And what befuddled me was the realization that we're living inside of our souls, that our souls aren't inside of us. That was kind of a trip. And I don't know what that has to do with anything other than the fact that it just is. It's the energy field that we are encompassing. And that's how you get vibes from people, and that's how you get, you feel somebody's energy, that kind of thing. Like, we're all psychic, right? And it's not like the movies. It's not like the video games. It's not the Hollywood mumbo jumbo. It can't be used maliciously, because as soon as you start trying to use it for malicious reasons, it goes away until you get your head straight. It can't be used for the ego or for monetary gain or anything like that. Well, I mean, the little bit of monetary gain. I'm assuming that there are some psychics out there that are real, and they make a living off of it, but they're not gouging people. They're not asking for $1 million for a reading. But that the awakening process is a very subtle and sometimes overly intense subject. It comes in rushes of epiphanies, states of knowing, gifts. There are all sorts of entities out there, and they all have their own special little thing, and they're connected to source directly, and they have no malicious intent. Demons are made by us. We make that. We create those things. We make our own demons all the time, through traumas, through misjudgments, through over-intellectualizing subjects. What I found astonishing through my experience is that there is no true good or true evil. In fact, there's neither one of those things. There's a negative and a positive, a feminine and a masculine, and it's an ebb and flow. Like, you have to realize when it's time to stand up for yourself, and when it's time to stand back a little bit and just watch things play out. And then there's a time to be really kind and generous and everything. Like, you can't help people. You can't. But if people come and ask you for help, that's different. If they come to you and say, I'm having this issue, and you tell them, you can only really tell them once, right? I mean, if they keep coming back to you, and you just keep having to remind them over and over again, there's a problem in that, because they're looking for an easy answer, and there are no easy answers except the ones that come from source. Source answers are always it's almost always yay or nay, yes or no, and they're very definitive, and they come in wrapped up in feeling, emotion. It's almost telekinetic. It's like you get it without words. There are no words to justify the truth, because the truth is just truthful. So there are goods to all evils and evils to all goods, and it's just walking that center path, that center line. That's what the Buddha talked about. Walk the center path. Not too tight, not too loose, just right in the middle. And that's what presence is. Presence is right now. Because there's only ever been right now. Like we think we look in our past, but we're not. We're looking at it right now. And dwelling on things that can't be changed isn't worth it. It's not worthwhile. But reflecting on things to make change is way more beneficial. That's where like mental alchemy and self-reflection, self-awareness, those types of things can help you out of your traumas and make you see life in a little bit different of a way. And that's what you're trying to do. You want to get out of your comfort zone. You want to let go of things that just aren't necessary anymore. What's the point in thinking about how somebody treated you like 25 years ago? Like, yeah, it sucked, but would you let somebody treat you that way again? No, of course not. So what do you need to dwell on it for? If you see those red flags come up, that's your chance to turn around and walk away. You don't have to like humor people or entertain somebody. I mean, I guess like if you're at work or something and there's people that are just terrible or whatever, and you can't avoid them, that's still not you. That's not who you are. If you're doing the right things and you're trying hard to be ethical and moral and grounding and positive, you're naturally getting recognized, observed by source, like because you're doing something different. So on the path, on the awakening path, the understanding of it, I don't know how far it goes. It may go on forever. I mean, who knows how many times we reincarnate? Who knows how many times we've reincarnated? I mean, nobody knows any of this stuff, not 100%. And if they do, they're probably not going to tell you. Because there are things you see, especially in meditation or self-reflection, that you're going, man, nobody would believe me even if I could tell them. It's super duper crazy. But I meet a lot of people. I don't know, it's some weird thing where they're kind of drawn to me, and I help them out as much as I can, and we talk crazy for a few hours, and they go, oh my God, I thought I was the only one that thought this way or had this experience. I'm like, no, everybody that goes through this has the same relative experience in just different ways. It's matched up here and there. Like, I mean, they talk about the awakening process, the moment of bliss, and then you try to grasp onto that, and it starts filtering away, and then the dark night of the soul, and the void, and then the reconnection with self. And those things don't happen exactly in that way. It's not cut and dry. I mean, I've been in the void and been in the dark night of the soul, and then back to blissful, and then in the dark night of the soul again, and then back to an awakening, and then it just jumps, and it's unique for every person. But the experiences themselves are intrinsic to the overall spectrum of awakening. So no, you're not crazy. Yes, the ringing means something, but it only means something to you. You have to figure that out on your own. There's no cut and dry way. Your your guides, your spirits, your angels, whatever you want to call them, your entities, your ascended masters will connect and contact you in whatever way they want, however it is that they get your attention. I've had ear ringing, I've had twitches, I've had tickles, itches, I've seen certain things. You come across feathers, you find dimes everywhere, you find pennies everywhere. There's all sorts of different avenues. A book falls out of the sky, and it just happens to be the book that you needed to read to get past the thing that you're having a problem with. It's just bizarre. A friend from high school that you haven't talked to in 20 years gets back to you, man, and it just blows your mind, and you're like, holy crap. And we're the same people that we were 20 to 30 years later. Just a little bit different. We've had more life experience. We've had some traumas, but we're still basically the same people. So if you're having the experience, relax. Everything's going to play out fine. You really do have to trust the process. You really do. Like, that is intrinsic. You can't fight it. The process is the process. Whatever happens, whatever happens. You're not going to fall flat on your face, though. If you need to take a nap, you need to take a nap. Okay? If you feel compelled to meditate, meditate. If you want to change your wardrobe, change your wardrobe. Whatever happens, it's happening for a reason. Change your dynamic. Become a different human. Yeah? Because this is a game. This is a joke. This all this around here. The only thing that are real are the trees and the animals and the insects, and those things are of source. Everything else we built. We throw things together in semblance to an artistic endeavor guided by source. We need houses to live in, no matter what shape they are. We need roads to drive on until we no longer have cars. Science is great until it's not, until we prove it wrong and then find a new type of science. And I mean, like, if you keep up with quantum physics, it's one of the most unbelievable, unparalleled sciences that we've ever had. And it's more math than anything. But there's a lot being exposed through quantum entanglement right now that is very spiritually based. And it's funny because I read Autobiography of a Yogi probably 25 years ago, and it was the best book I've ever read in my life. I still have a copy next to my chair. I can't not have a copy around me. If there's ever an end of the world situation, you're gonna find me with a copy of that, the Kabbalion, and maybe the Tao Te Ching. It'll be in my back, my rucksack. Just kidding. There's not gonna be an apocalypse. But Paramahansa Yogananda said that one day science will prove God exists. And I think we're kind of in it right now. Like, we know that there is an all-encompassing energy in the universe, and it's aware of itself. I don't know what that is. What would you think? I don't know. We can call it a lot of different things. But the truth of the matter is, we already know. If you're watching this video, you know of source. And like, I don't like using the word God, but it's an overplayed, overused, negatively based type of a term. But to me, God just means God. It doesn't mean that, like, I did a video a while back about, God has no religion, because God doesn't care about your religion. He cares about your practice, cares about your effort, cares about your self-awareness, your perception of yourself. That is what God is about. God doesn't judge you, you judge you. So back on topic. With your awakening, you have to trust the process. Do whatever it is that you feel compelled to do. If you want to become a vegetarian, do that. You need to eat more meat, that's fine too. Be kind in all things and allow the process to take you. One of the other lessons was letting go, which is the hardest one, because letting go of things and becoming detached, attachment will kill you. Getting attached to a thing or a specific way of living will murder you. Just ask people that have drank alcohol to excess for 20, 30 years. Ask them how their livers are doing. You will find your passion and it will kill you. So find the right one. I would rather my passion be of spirit than anything else. And don't get me wrong, I've done some stupid crap in my life that I'm not proud of. But I can look back at it now and go, well, it was necessary. It got me to where I am right now. It had a lot to do with my awakening and my understanding and my subsequent awakenings and all of the awakenings that are going to happen in the future, because I'm not getting off of this path. I love it. I love the synchronicities. I love the torment. It's really kind of funny. I love my own suffering. The suffering I put upon myself, because you cry it out and you move on and you get the next trauma and you find that and you fix it and you tweak it, and then an old trauma that you thought you fixed will come in and you got to work that one out, and it's just this beautiful thing. It keeps you occupied, absolutely, and it helps you to find the things that you love the most, that you really want to do, but we're always too afraid to do. So of course Source has to shake it up, because you're just getting too comfortable. I got to get you out of your comfort zone, That's Source opinion there. So beyond letting go is acceptance. Accepting things for the way they are is pretty healthy. Like, yep, this is the situation I'm in. And sometimes you can even get yourself to laugh about it a little bit. It's tough. It really is. And I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, because it's scary as shit. Like, you get in it and you don't know which way you're going. You don't know where you came from. You start, is this a cartoon? Is this some weird soap opera? Why is everybody talking this way? Because you're not thinking that way anymore. So it's so bizarre to hear other people pretending that politics means something. Like, no, man, trees mean something. Animals mean something. The air definitely means something. Earth and fire, those things mean something. The ether means something. After acceptance is the recollection of remembering who you are. You are of the divine. It's like what Christ said, I am of my Father, but he is greater than I. It's that thing. And you can kind of, if you want to talk biblically, you can go back to the book of Genesis, where it talks of Adam and Eve eating of the tree of the fruit of good and evil, and realizing good and evil. Well, what were they before they ate the fruit? I am of my Father, but he is greater than I. So there are little secrets in all religions, man, and I think they're all very, very important. Well, I don't think, I know they're very important. They not only divert us from the truth, they bring us closer to the truth. Solitude is very important, not only in this process, but in general. Solitude and silence are very, very important. It's not as much the words as it is the space between the words. And I think I just watched a video with Eckhart Tolle where he mentioned that it's not the words, it's the space between the words. And that's a play off of, and I don't know, I'm paraphrasing here, and I can't even remember the composer that said it, but it's not the notes, it's the space between the notes. It might have been Miles Davis, maybe that's who it was, that talked. It's the space between the notes, it's the pauses, and that's true. It's those little moments of quietude, the slowing down, and you get little hints of things. A little breeze, a whisper on that breeze just brings everything into perspective all of a sudden. It's very bizarre. Being authentic and being vulnerable, no matter what anybody will judge you for, is also very integral to the process. Being true for the sake of truth. Now, I'm not saying that you should, shoot yourself in your own foot. But what I'm saying is being as authentic as possible, as often as possible, is the best policy. Not everybody's going to be receptive to it. But if you're talking from your heart, a lot of people will. So give that type of thing a shot. And you'll realize as you become more present, you become more authentic, you're more vulnerable with yourself and with others. That's when magic starts. The magic starts happening when you stop bullshitting yourself and pretending to be stuff that you're not. It is the most gorgeous, beautiful, and trying thing you will ever experience in your life. But kudos to you for giving it a shot. Until next time, have a good one.